What's good, peeps? Thanks always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, before we start, massive shout out and thank you to Daryl from Boxing Lowdown, who passed by on Wednesday to talk all things boxing and a bit of football as well. If you haven't seen the videos, go and check them out. They're up now. Go and follow his YouTube channel and subscribe, Boxing Lowdown. I read a comment on one of the videos, nothing negative, but I do want to talk about it briefly. By the way, I read every single comment, like no joke, every single comment. But this comment was, it was along the lines of, I can't remember it word for word, but I think the guy, pretty sure it was, said, I stopped watching after 5 seconds or something because of the sound quality. And he has a point, by the way. This is why I say it's not a negative comment. Obviously, when I do these, I've got this mic, so the sound quality is fine. But when I do the interviews, I don't have a kind of a two-way mic right now. So I kind of put this, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I put this lapel mic in between both of us, right? So the sound quality isn't great. It's not the worst, but it isn't great nonetheless. This really, what I'm trying to say basically, this is more for the people that want to get started, because I get a lot of emails from people talking about wanting to start their own thing up, not just about boxing, but anything. How did I get started, blah, blah, blah. What I will say to people is just start. Just start, right? You're not going to get the perfect sound quality. You're not going to get the perfect background. You're not going to get the perfect video quality, but just fucking start. No excuses, right? No excuses. Unless you've got a truckload of money, your initial setup is probably going to be very basic and very shit. Fact. Very basic and very shit. And you just got to get going. You've just got to get going. Most people will stick by if they just like what you're saying. They'll kind of give you a bly for a little while on your sound quality and your picture quality. Most people will just think, you know what, let's support him at the beginning. Obviously, those are things you should improve over time, but just get going. I am a massive fan, and I watch nearly every video of the Joe Rogan podcast. Joe Rogan has something like 7 million subscribers now. Every video he puts out touches 1 million, some 5, 6, 10 million. Go and watch Joe Rogan's first, 30 videos. In fact, first 100 videos. Shocking. Sound quality is poor. Picture quality is disgusting. He just got started, and that's Joe Rogan. So don't be put off by not having the perfect sound or the perfect background or this or that. Just fucking start. I'm putting this down, by the way, because it's still bloody hot. All right, let's scrap all that and let's talk Gennady Golovkin versus Sergiy Derevyanchenko. That goes down this Saturday or Sunday for UK viewers, and it's for the vacant IBF and now IBO middleweight titles. This fight could be a good one. It really could. This fight, I think we had potentially fight of the year last week Saturday. This could be it. It could. It's all down to Derevyanchenko, like it was all down to Porter to make the Spence fight, right? It's all down to the underdog to make this a good one. And he's a very, very live underdog. He is more live, I think, than Porter was to Spence. And I gave Porter a chance in that one, but I think he's more live. This is arguably, and could be wrong here, but this is arguably number 2 versus number 4. You could make an argument to say Golovkin's number 2 in the world. I think we all can agree that Canelo is number 1, although I still could make an argument about Golovkin, but I'm not going to go there right now. But Golovkin number 2. And after Derevyanchenko's performance against Danny Jacobs, lost by split decision, some people thought he won, by the way. Danny Jacobs was a top 4 guy then. After that, you could argue with Danny Jacobs now going to 168, you could argue he's number 4, right? So you got Canelo, GGG, Andrade, maybe, Derevyanchenko and Charlo. So this is a very, very live fight. That all said, I think GGG is going to make an example out of Derevyanchenko. I really do. You guys watch the channel. You've been watching the channel for some time now. I'm a fucking big fan of Golovkin. I really am. I've said this for a long time that history isn't going to be good to him, right? We always talk about the boogeymen of boxing, right? Those ones that are feared. Golovkin, I can't think of a fighter in the last 15, 20 years that I think was as feared as Golovkin was at middleweight. There was a run of about 4 years where no one wanted to fight him. People say he only fought B-level opponents. He only fought B-level opponents because the A-level guys didn't want a piece. They didn't want a piece at all. Canelo, don't forget, Canelo threw a belt away, right? Said, nope, not fighting him. Cotto, I'm a massive fan of Cotto. And to be fair, Cotto's a small guy, but Cotto was the middleweight champion at the time, didn't want to fight him. Sergio Martinez didn't want to fight him. There are a load of guys out there that were refusing to fight him. And unfortunately, he had to then fight the B-level guys. In stepping up to the A-level guys, I thought he's done okay. I didn't think he done very well against Gennady Jacobs. I thought he got the win. And I thought the two Canelo fights were fantastic. Fantastic. And both of them could have gone his way, so he's been unlucky. So again, history isn't going to be good to him. But I think Derevyanchenko's style of marauding forward in a straight line is perfect for him. And I think in GGG, he's marauding forward into a fucking brick wall. I really do believe that, a brick wall. This is a guy that doesn't take a backward step. This is a guy that, I mean, Jacobs is hitting with everything. Canelo's hitting with everything. And these guys barely put dents in him. Barely put dents in him. Derevyanchenko doesn't hit as hard as Jacobs. And I don't think he hits as hard as Canelo either. So I think the style is perfect. One thing Derevyanchenko does do, I think even better than GGG, is that he throws punches and bunches. Against Gennady Jacobs, and I just watched the highlights of the fight again now just to remind myself, this guy, once he gets on the inside, lets his hands go. He does let his hands go, and Canelo didn't do that against GGG, so that might be a problem. But I think once he lands clean on Derevyanchenko, I think that marauding forward will stop. It really will. And if that doesn't work and it just becomes a boxing match, then my money is on GGG every day of the week. It could be something similar to that David Lemieux performance where he just won that fight with a jab. He could just do that. I think because of the way GGG fights, which I think is just to try and entertain people, I do think that we forget about GGG's amateur record. Fucking frightening, right? Frightening. There's only a couple of boxers boxing right now with better amateur records, and that's Rigondeaux and Lomachenko. GGG's just behind them. His amateur record is fantastic. So look, if he wants to box, right, and just stay on the back foot and use his jab, he can do that. If he wants to go in close and go toe-to-toe, he can do that. If he wants to kind of show and trade power shots, we know he can do that. GGG can do a bit of everything. So I think GGG wins this many ways. As good as I think Derevyanchenko is, and I think he is a good fighter, I think GGG just has the tools to beat Derevyanchenko. I think at this stage of GGG's career, it might be a mover that causes him problems. An Andrade, maybe even a Charlo, someone that moves a bit. Derevyanchenko, yes, he does move, but again, it's in straight lines. And I can see GGG picking him off all night. It'd be good as well to see if there are any noticeable changes with GGG. This is his second camp now with Jonathan Banks. And I think it does take a few camps for a new trainer to implement his ideas. But let's see if there are any changes. GGG did mention that he's doing things he's never done before, like nutritionalist, never done it before. Strength and condition, never done it before. I know I've bigged up GGG and maybe talked down Derevyanchenko a bit. Derevyanchenko is a good fighter. Again, a good fighter. Bronze medalist, I think, of the 2007 World Championships as an amateur. Could have beat Gennady Jacobs. Got put down in that fight, but got up and put on a very, very good show. Likes to go to the body. Again, I mentioned punches and bunches. It's going to be a good fight, people. But I just think Golovkin, I know he's 37 now. By the way, Derevyanchenko's 33, so he's no spring chicken either. I know he's 37, but I think he just needs to remind people that he's still here. And I think, again, he's going to make an example out of Derevyanchenko. I really do think so. And I think he stops him rounds 9 to 10. And I'm telling you now, that would be a fucking statement. Because that guy looks as tough as nails. But I think GGG will get him out there rounds 9 to 10. And it'll be with that fucking weird overhand punch on the top of the fucking temple. Which really should be illegal, if I'm honest with you. That's what gets him out of there. What do you guys think? GGG Derevyanchenko. If GGG does win, fucking Billy Joe Saunders next, right? It's got to be. That'd be a good little matchup. If Derevyanchenko wins, boy, doesn't even bear thinking. As a GGG fan, it don't bear thinking. Peace, people.